Hey everyone, welcome back to season 2 of the Refuse Ordinary podcast. We're so happy you've joined us today. Today I have some special guests. I have Galen Reimer.
That's
He's
me.
a level 4 student in the School of Transformation, and he does all kinds of building projects for the church, for events and housing and stuff. It's really cool. And then we have Lisa Kelly. She's the level 3 leader at the School of Transformation, and she's also one of the worship pastors at the Father's House Church. And she's amazing, and so we're very happy to have both of you here.
Oh, thank you.
It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
So for this season of Refuse Ordinary, we are going over people's testimonies. So Galen here recently shared a testimony about how he came here and what happened when he came here. His testimony was about how he had gone to school for carpentry and was actually really successful in it and very talented in that area, but he was feeling rather directionless and didn't really see his purpose in it. And so he came here, and now he's actually using those talents and those giftings for the church and for the kingdom, and it's really cool. But we want to talk more about that because there's obviously a story behind that. It wasn't just a quick thing that happened, right?
Yeah.
So I guess just first, what actually kind of what I wanted to ask you about was that sudden decision to come here, because you were kind of in a successful position, doing well in your career. And for most people, it'd be like, well, isn't that what you're aiming for, Yeah. Isn't that the goal? If you're already there, but that wasn't really how it was, right?
No, it wasn't how it was for me. No, I was working for my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and in a trade that paid well and was full-time work and was that part great,
Mm-hmm.
good money and and weekends off and everything. It was a good schedule or whatever, but it just wasn't fulfilling. It was just maddening, actually, is what it was for me.
Okay.
It was angering and became this hateful person that just didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And just didn't feel right. So
Okay.
So yeah, it was actually, I quit that job there were 5 days before coming here.
Wow.
So yeah. So
Okay.
and coming here was just like a Sunday night. I looked at flights to come here Sunday night, and then Monday was the first day of class, which I think I maybe found it from you maybe or something, or maybe from Johnny or somebody, but and then flew on Monday.
Okay.
Johnny told me I had to fly, and so anyways,
Yeah.
came down here, and because ordinary wasn't cutting it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That must have taken, to me, when I think of that must have taken a lot of faith, or kind of this, or maybe more of a desperation in that there's going to be something more. Yeah,
definitely. I would call it a gamble. I'm gambling on there being something more than this for me. Because it wasn't even when I hit book flights, it wasn't 100% sure. It was 51.
Yeah.
It wasn't dead set. Oh, I know this is going to be the best thing, and I know it's going to be great. It's no, this is a gamble for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually interesting, because that was actually my thing with coming here too. It was I was emotionally struggling, and it was okay, I'm gonna go at the chance that there's something more, when it comes to, because there's a bit of that, I can't, I want to be a Christian and I want to have a purpose, but I'm a little I don't know how to do this, and I feel if I take this chance, it might give me a chance to find out that there is something more, and that I do have a purpose. So that's really cool.
Similar to me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So with coming here, what do you, what was your experience, or what was that thing that kind of shifted? Because you are right now doing similar things, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But it's different now. And so can you kind of pinpoint what that was?
Yeah, I mean, it's ever changing. I'm not where I want to be right now with my gifts and talents and what I use them for and what I'm motivated by and all that stuff. But it's come a long ways, and I think especially in and realizing that it has been God who's led me here, has been huge. Because at the time I didn't know it was him, but now, with time of just taking this time off to do the school instead of pursue my career, then it's really helped me see who he is and realize, oh, he's leading me here, and oh, he's given me these gifts.
Yeah.
And like for before working the jobs I did and excelling like I did, because I excelled, I was top of my class and winning, competitions and stuff and whatever. Like it was really well, but doing well, but at the same time, or now it's like I realize he's given me these gifts and abilities, but also that he's given me the gift to teach what I know as well, which before was kind of like, I'm just going to use these gifts for myself and get what I can for myself and prove to the world that I am this gifted person who excels at this thing. But now it's kind of recently he's been showing me, oh, but you're actually like a teacher guy. Yeah. And you're supposed to, cool. Or you have that ability to teach what you know to other people. Yeah. And so like doing it with him and working for him, it's so much more about other people and letting others in on what I know so that they can do what I do, or they can experience the joy of work like I do. Cause I enjoy working. Yeah. I really do. Yeah. And not everybody does, but like I can bring that and teach that and show that.
That's cool. It makes it so much bigger than like just, it's like one thing to just use the talents the Lord has given you. Yeah. But then to also have that perspective of like, but I'm going to bring people in and like bring them along with me. And that's really cool.
Yeah. I'm loving it. I got so much to go, but I'm loving it.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. I know I'm not saying a lot here, but it's actually just really cool for me sitting at a table exactly with you two is pretty special. Your stories are just some of the brightest here, and I don't care if I'm biased in saying that at all, but it's true. The things that have changed for both of you, just the life that you both have, the real life, not just I'm technically physically alive, but that both of you have your lives back and are excelling and are thriving and are teaching other people, and even the relationships that you're in, just married to such a good guy and you're about to get married. I mean, that's really, really cool. And it's your stories that have kept me going many times that have made it worth it for me coming here, and the risk that it was, like you both talked about, right? That you're putting a lot on the line and deciding something like this, right? Yeah. And so, for me, it's really cool to see both of you. Thank you. Just like, okay, quickly, easily, worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
You.
Yeah.
I like, so for you, like you have a lot of talents that you share with, like, very obviously, like with your worship leading, with your baking business, and like, what has that journey been like for you? Because I've known, like, for those of you who don't know, she's my cousin, and so we've known each other. I've known her my whole life, you know, and you've always been very talented, you know, and like, but like, what has that journey been like for you in like recognizing the Lord's giftings and then using them in the right way? I know, okay, you might get to this anyways, but I know you've talked about like the character behind some of that stuff, and I think that's really interesting. So
because the gifts and talents that I operate in and that I have been refining, you know, throughout my life, it's you know, it's easy to use them to bless people, right? And the thing about even worship leading, like I started leading when I was 13. I don't know that I would recommend that necessarily, but here we are. So that's when it started, because I could sing, right? And so it's easy to do that without character, as long as nothing really blatant comes out, right? As long as people can't see that something is horribly wrong inside, then it just kind of works, right? And so unfortunately I did get away with that for years, and many times where on the inside things were just not lined up at all, character wise, and even trusting Jesus or trusting people or being able to follow leaders, and that list goes on, but we only have 20 minutes, so anyway, but that was a long list, right? And yet I could sing, so who cares, right? And I knew how to pretend, and I knew how to do the right things on the surface. And so that's kind of an easy one for me to go back on and see that, I mean, practically, you know, you can learn how to do that, but I had to learn how to have my heart invested and to really make character choices, and honestly to care about the people I was leading, and to recognize that it makes a difference.
Wow.
Right? That it actually matters. It's way more than just if I can sing a song, or if I can pick slow too fast, or let's do the verse twice. Right? Like that actually it goes significantly deeper than that. And it matters because I'm supposed to be leading people into his presence and hearing him the whole time, right? And actually following what Holy Spirit is saying and what he's doing and where he's going. And that matters to be able to actually lead people well. And they needed way more from me than just to be able to sing the song on key. Right. And so for me, that looked like a lot of inside work having to happen, and getting my heart just kind of almost restarted. You know, I was so angry and bitter, and there was so much stuff I was used to just shoving down and filing away because it didn't matter, because it wasn't as bad as what else, you know, other things happening around me. Right. I was kind of used to just hiding away, and, you know, I'll just deal with my problems because, you know, they're not bad enough to really matter. And so obviously that turned into just getting more and more angry and sad, and then taking control, and then that looking like compromise in my faith. And so I had a lot of that to undo in order to actually get to a point where when I'm up there leading, that it's from my heart, and it's because I love Jesus, and also because I love people and I want to help them that way. You know, I want to help them feel comfortable. And so worship leading, that's been a massive part of my journey. The refinement that's happened in my character and in my heart because of that has been huge. And so I've learned lots of lessons about that. You know, and then even with the food stuff, that's kind of just another practical one, because it's easy to just, well, not easy, but you can just make someone's birthday cake and then they love it and hooray, and you've done something practical, right? But even within that, like, it is more fulfilling, like Galen was saying, to teach other people. And I've been able to have some really cool moments that way, where it's the relationship you build with someone when their walls are down, because you're doing something practical, you're working with your hands, and you're just building a friendship. So they are getting to know you at the same time, and just all the really cool side things that happen with that. It's pretty amazing what Jesus can do through practical skills. You know, I kind of grew up thinking that's sort of my own thing. That's just a hobby. And hopefully when I have time for it, you know, Jesus won't mind if I just do this thing for myself, because obviously he just wants me to do the practical ministry things. You know, or the really blatantly obvious, this is ministry, right? The 5 things that count on that list. Right. And yet I've seen him just do phenomenal things through me saying, hey, I can make those cupcakes for you. Just even in the last couple of years, the places I've made it into, the people's lives that I now have some influence in, just because we're friends, right? And in downtown Oroville, right? And other places too, but just, I see him at work, and I love that he can do that. And it's way more fun to partner with him in that and have him lead me through that than just to do it so that I can feel good about myself, or to fill some void in my heart because, you know, I had no foundation in just knowing Jesus loved me. And now with knowing that Jesus loves me, then we can go and do cool things. And that looks like a bunch of different practical things, but it's actually fun and life-giving for me and the people around me.
That's so cool. I feel inspired by that like,
me too.
That like these, there's that these talents that you have are just like, not only just, okay, I have this talent, now I must use it, you know? But it's actually been a fun thing for you. And like, and both of you, like, that you feel this passion about it. It's not like the Lord has given me this talent and now I have to, like, you know, like, it's actually really, he's doing it with you. And so it's actually enjoyable and enriches your life because he likes to do fun things with you, you know?
Right. And it's like the enemy tries turning it into something that you have to do so that the joy is taken out, so that the power is taken out. Right. And I can definitely see that in my life where that has happened before. And yet with Jesus, it's like the joy returns and the power returns to it. Right? And he can just do whatever he wants with what you place in his hands and say, okay, this seems insignificant, right? Or this can't really be used in a church setting. Right. Or we just have our own ideas of what that's going to look like.
That's true.
Right. And try to figure it out ourselves. And I can even think of other things that are less significant, as it were. For the podcast, I just did air quotes. But, you know, that seemed like it wasn't really a big deal. Like, even I like painting nails, right? Just little things like that don't matter, more air quotes. that seem insignificant, and yet through it friendships are built and people are blessed and their walls come down. And that list of things that can help people and that counts as ministry, it is way longer than just I teach Sunday school, I preach.
Wow.
It's way longer than that. And Jesus can just, like, you put, you know, your leftover lunch or whatever, your fishes and loaves in his hands, and suddenly thousands of people are fed. Like, hey, that's didn't so even logically make sense. And yet these practical skills, I mean, and we're seeing that with all the ministries around here, right? With the store and with the gym and with frozen yogurt, right? All of it. It's like, I love seeing that at work. And that's part of why I wanted to come back and stay here. Is because I could see it. Right? Oh, you can use anything. You can just start anywhere. And Jesus will reach people through it. You just say yes. He'll reach somebody through it. You know?
That's so cool. So, like, practically for people that, you know, maybe recognize or like are going one way, and they're good at stuff, or like they have these things that they're doing, and they maybe even are successful in them, but the passion isn't there, or like the inspiration isn't there, or they don't, like, how is there like a practical thing from either of your experiences where it's been like, okay, this is what changed it, or this is how I can go from, like, this feels kind of lifeless, but I want to use it for Jesus, to actually having like power in it and life in it.
Run it, Galen.
Yes. Well, I mean, like, you're talking people who want to know Jesus, or like Christian people and stuff? Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you just need to find somebody who knows more than you do. I think for me is what it's largely what it's been, or I mean, that's maybe just in general, but if you're, I mean, that's maybe for younger people, I guess, but for younger people like me, I mean, all of us, but you know, we don't really know as much as other people do. And
how dare you? I'm only 30. Okay, all right.
Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah. Thank you for referencing that.
Come on, I'm almost 29, so okay.
Yeah, so especially then.
Yes. Yeah, me and you were young, but
yes.
But anyways, yeah. But I think I mean, for me, it's been admitting that somebody else knows more than me in things, and I mean, here at the Father's house, I get to be with Steve and work with him, and he's been a carpenter, like I'm a carpenter, and he's been a carpenter, and so he's like just really good at teaching people who actually have no experience in the trade and have no grid for what it is or what it takes, or even the skills or the abilities. They don't have really anything, but he can use them still. And for me, it's been like just very eye opening to see how he does it, and just like, man, I'd like to do the same thing. I want to be like that too, and I get to every day just see how he does it and work alongside him, and you know. So somebody who just has done it before and has you know, knows it. You know, that's cool. Yeah,
I would say something similar for sure. Just speaking from the older generation here, that for me it was really helpful to have Ryan, my husband, for sure, who just has a different perspective on things, because I grew up with lots of, I would say, feeling guilty, and so then that's why I wanted to do stuff like I should be working. And so I would have to run things by him. And I would say I still do sometimes, just to make sure that I'm on the right track. Of, okay, I feel like I should be doing this. What do you think? Is Holy Spirit saying that? You know, just to have him in my corner. And Vicky's really great at that too. Right? At just being able to tell, okay, is this coming from a place of guilt or love? Right? Because the thing itself that you're doing could be fantastic and helpful. But when the motivation is always guilt or, oh, I guess I should do this, right? Again, it takes the power out, it takes the joy out of it. And so for me, it was really helpful to have people to just let in on the process while my heart was being healed, while I was sorting out, why do I need to fill this void in my heart of identity? Why am I using my practical skills or anything that I can do just to work on my identity? Why do I need to do that? While I was doing, the inner healing, the prayer ministry, to fix that, I really needed help in just knowing I was hearing Holy Spirit in the practical day to day. Should I be doing this or not? Should I be saying yes to this or not? Am I just saying yes to everything because I feel bad and because guilt is the glue that holds my life together? Or do I actually get to just choose to love people through this and in this way? And sometimes what that looks like in my schedule is almost exactly the same, But what that looks like in my heart is really different.
Wow.
And then what it looks like in the moment is really different. Did I choose this, or was I dragged through the gravel face first for a couple blocks and then here I am?
Right.
Right? Like which one is it?
Mm-hmm.
So that when I go up on that stage, whatever it is, why am I there?
Yeah.
Am I happy to do it, or do I have to do it? You
Yeah.
know? And that for me is even what I'm having refined now, I would say, is continuing to do that. I want to move over everything to, I'm choosing to do this because I love Jesus and I love people, but I'm doing it because of love, and to just keep refining just that part of my heart and my character, so that eventually everything will be done out of love, the way that Jesus did it, right? I just watched the way that he never was guilted into anything. Right? He didn't just kind of, I guess I have to. Yeah. Right? That's not the way that he approached any situation.
Yeah.
Right? It was real, and it was from the heart, and even the really difficult things, you know, like he was real about it, but it was coming from his heart.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't fake. And that's what I really want to be able to do. Yeah. You know, is that everything is coming out of love, and that my heart would be so healed and so like Jesus that everything I do is powerful, and that it's few and far between times where it's like, okay, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to anyway. Right. You know, that I would have my heart open to being healed. Yeah. In that way, and that it's powerful what I choose to do and what I choose to participate in, and how I help people, that it's always powerful. Yeah. You know, that's what I want.
Wow.
That's so cool. I feel very inspired by you guys, and I know our listeners will too. I just want to encourage everyone watching or listening to, you know, if you're feeling unsure of how to use your giftings, or, you know, kind of the next step in that, like you want to have that passion back in, whether it's visiting us, which would be awesome, or just or going after a mentor, somebody that can teach you, or just listening to Jesus's voice, letting him speak into how you can use your giftings, and, you know, because I know he wants to use them with you, and they're meant to be life-giving and fulfilling, and not this thing that you feel burdened by. And so, I hope you feel encouraged, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us at Refuse Ordinary. I hope that it was both challenging and inspiring in your walk with Jesus. If you have any questions at all, please comment below. We would love to hear from you. I have 3 different ways in which you can get involved at the School of Transformation. First, we have our flagship full-time in-person school right here in beautiful Oroville, California. Next, I have School of Transformation Light, which offers part-time modules, in-person and online on Sunday mornings. Last but not least, I have School of Transformation Light on the Move, which distills all the topics and teachings of the school into a video series, which means that you can watch it wherever you are. If you have any questions or would like more information on any of these options for school, please head to transformationschool.org.